Hey guys, Strike here, and welcome back to Death Stranding. And oh my god, first off, if you didn't see the last episode, which is about 2.5 hours long, so I really don't blame you, but I highly recommend not watching this one just yet. I highly recommend watching that one first, because that was the entire end of the game, hence why it was so long, and holy shit, what an ending that was. The entire time that we were playing through this game, Sam wants things in his mouth immediately, so I guess I will oblige. But, fucking hell. The entire time I was playing through this game, I knew I absolutely loved it. I knew it was such an incredible fucking game. But it was never really gonna break my top 10. It was never really a game that I thought was... I don't know, it was so unique. It was such an incredible experience that, no game I had played had really done anything even similar to. But that last fucking session, those last 5 chapters that we all played through yesterday, perfection, literally elevated this game to one of the greatest things I've ever played. A true fucking masterpiece that I still haven't quite recovered from. And you know how I had to stop commentating? Like, during the last cutscene and everything? It's a fucking good thing that I did, because I was weeping. I was a melted little puddle of bitch boy. I don't know what the fuck happened. But, and you guys know, like, I am often emotionally, wangled by games, we'll put it like that. But I don't think you guys have ever seen me outright bawling. And thank fuck, you still haven't, but this game had me doing it. And I really didn't expect that. So, what the fuck are we doing back here today? For one, I just want to gush. I want to rub myself all over the game just one final time. And 2, we're gonna 100% it. Now, in any other situation, that sounds daunting as all fuck. That sounds like the most terrifying, insane task anyone has ever taken on. And I know, I'm pretty fucking badass for it. But, no, we've already done the incredibly painful part. We already did Central America, and the only parts left to 100% is reading all mail, getting all memory chips, which I might skip doing unless there's an achievement for it, because we're so close to 100%ing that, and, doing the last 2 states. Both off in the west, they were impossible to 100% during the game, so we have to do that now, and I imagine they're not going to be all that hard. Because obviously the only places that are going to be able to deliver to those states are each other. There's only 2 places in Western America. And I assume that means there's going to be fuckloads of orders for it. Either that or it's impossible to connect them up. But I'm pretty sure I saw them with a star rating, right? I don't think I imagined that. But let's begin with reading. Now I am going to say, this entire session, this entire fucking session is absolutely going to be... rammed full, packed to the goddamn brim, overflowing with reading and shit like that. There is no story content to come. There is, as far as I know, hell, maybe this, I know it's called Another Chapter, it's like Tomorrow's in Your Hands, maybe I can actually pass the time, but I kinda doubt it. But yeah, this is all gonna be side quests if I can find them, email reading, just 100% rounding everything off. So if that is not your thing, totally understand. If you want to depart now, I will not think any less of you. Much. And, and I appreciate you all the same. But for those of you who want to stay, you are so much cooler than those other guys. Bona fide hero shit. Except in a Russian accent. It's very early morning. I actually woke up at a decent time today. So, even though I spent all night editing, I was editing till 7 a.m. because I wanted to get this out. Yes, I wanted to keep recording because I have no hard drive space. Fucking Christ. Bona fide hero shit. Well, you actually pulled it off. Made it all the way out west and came back to tell the tale. I've got to admit, I was worried you wouldn't see it through. Seemed like a tall order for anyone, after all. It hasn't been easy for the people you left behind, but I told myself I'd try not to blame you. That wouldn't be fair. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. You're a real hero, Sam. And there's plenty of us out here who'll never forget that. Thank you. Oh, the wedding's back on? That's terrible. You hate each other, don't you? And you, lady, are also a 10-year-old boy, and that will never be okay. Dear Sam. I don't remember... You sound unbelievably Japanese/Chinese/ I can't tell, I'm sorry. would it be horrible of me to try and do the accent? I mean, I did the Russian one. The Russian one was acceptable. But no, I feel like I'll butcher it even harder. So, hope you're doing alright. So, my mother told us what happened 5 years ago. It's weird how we don't have any memory of it, though I'm glad for that. Some things are better forgotten, I think. His gang killed my parents. I feel like I really should have read the mother's one first, but it was above, so whatever, we're doing it in this order. There's no denying that. But that's also no denying that he saved me. He took me by the hand and led me to safety. I wish I could remember that much, at least. Even if it meant having to remember some of the rest. Miss fucking Niagara Falls Vagina was actually a good person? She was shielding her for a fucking reason. This asshole, why have I been helping him the whole time? He was there for me 5 years ago, and ever since my mother's been there for me too. It's because of them and their love that I survived, that I became who I am today. I owe them everything. Well, maybe not everything. I shouldn't forget how you've helped me, Sam. I can't thank you enough. Also, his actions are 100%... okay, not his actions, but his associates are 100% fucking to blame for the most traumatic event of her goddamn life. And he's still just like, oh god, she's a nightmare to live with. Get the fuck out of my house. As if he doesn't owe her everything. Owe his entire life to making up for his horrific mistake. Fuck you, dude. I shouldn't forget how you helped me, Sam. I can't thank you enough. Anyway, I'm going back to our own shelter now. No more running away from me. I've got a wedding to plan after all. My daughter and her husband's tragic past. Oh yeah, you sound like Stephen Fry, don't you? I forgot I did that for some reason. Dear Sam, that's not what Stephen Fry sounds like at all, but it's happening. Maybe you have already heard. My daughter turned up here the other day, saying she was moving back home. Not long after that, a man came around looking for her. So I decided it was time to come clean, tell them the whole truth about what happened 5 years ago. The truth about how they first met. My daughter's real parents were killed by a gang of junk dealers, a gang to which her own husband used to belong. He was just a boy at the time, though, and in fact, he was the one who saved her life. Somehow, he convinced the others to leave her be. I still remember the way he was holding her hand when I found them. How scared she was. Hood pulled over her face, unable to find the words. I tell you, the boy chose to strike out on his own after that and set himself up as a prepper. But no, I won't deny it. I didn't want to take care of both of them, so I sent him on his way. It was pure chance that they met again and fell in love. Fate, maybe. I cursed it that day, let me tell you. They didn't remember each other, you see. Trauma, I suppose. So it was my burden alone to bear. Even if I wanted to keep them apart, I wouldn't dare remind them of all that. But after everything that happened, I realized it had to be done. They both needed to remember the whole of it. He'd saved her life, sure, but it wouldn't have needed saving if it wasn't for his gang. I mean, you said he was but a boy. He was probably born into this shit. I know I was just laying into him, but this doesn't actually sound like his fault in the slightest. Poor guy. You've been keeping him apart because of what he was forced to do as like a 6-year-old. But for fuck's sake, knowing the truth, could they have seen a way to reconciliation? Well, after some thinking, they told me that if you love someone, nothing else matters. Do you believe that? So I told them to give it another go. It won't be easy, and frankly, it shouldn't be. But I sincerely believe they have what it takes. If they want to get married, I'll support their decision. Oh, what a nice lady. It's a little bit convenient that they just both forgot it. Kind of makes me suspect this lady right here, Miss Walrus Underwear. But, sure, whatever. I'm sure you didn't eat her parents. That would be horrible. Thank you, Sam, the little Half-Life image. Huh? What the fuck is this? Thank you, Sam. That's not a good voice. Thank you, Sam. No. Thank you, Sam. I have become whole again. It's all thanks to you and your love for Half-Life and Portal. Once there was an explosion that shattered and scattered me. But now I am once more. The 5 cubes you have recovered have been joined with my car. The experiments can now recommence. I am grateful for your assistance. Allow me to thank you with a gift. It is a strider. Perhaps it can be used to remove any awkward obstacles that prevent you from doing your job. It's still in development, but it should be finished soon. I can't wait to meet you. See you soon, Sam. That sounds like I'm actually gonna be able to meet them, huh? Okay. Another little Half-Life dude, it's Benjamin Hancock. I don't remember what you sound like, but you are fucking iconic, purely because the fuck is this moment? And I adore you, buddy. Hey, Sam! Thanks again for hooking us up to the network. My dreams come true at last. It couldn't have happened without you. So, I need to ask you something. It's kind of weird, but bear with me, okay? Have you been getting some kind of rash? I mean, mails from someone pretending to be me? I'm asking because I was doing some maintenance on the mail server. I found some messages from me to you that I swear I didn't write. It's not just me, either. William Lake, Thomas Sutherland, paleontologist. Seems you received orders from all of them, but no one remembers a thing. Those cube things you went and recovered? There's no record of them in any Bridges database. I got no idea why anyone would ask you to fetch them. Also, I wiped the records, but you received an email from some unknown sender as well, right? At a sixth cube. Somewhere beyond the tar belt in the ruined shopping mall of Middle Knot City. The place that got destroyed in the terrorist attack. Well, it's gonna sound crazy, but according to chiral analysis, the cube is the ha of the person who's been sending these fake mails. I mean, you fucking say that? But you were always coming to the fucking, door and were like, oh, thank you so much for my cube. Here's some terrifying mushroom creature to bite out your brain. Or, hey, here's some glasses, which is a little bit less exciting. But, I mean, you were always thanking me for it, but whatever, okay, it can impersonate whatever the fuck it wants. I'm thinking we need to get rid of it, or else who knows what'll happen? Jizz emoji. The mail said something about restarting the experiments, right? Plus, that Strider thing. Looks like some kind of weapon. We don't want one of those coming after us. After cross-referencing the cube's, for fuck's sake, metadata, we found records of a similar item that was once flagged for disposal. Seems that might be possible to send the cube to another world if we submerge it in the tar. In any event, it needs to be cremated. And these experiments need to be stopped. You're the only one who can do it, Sam. We're counting on you to find that last cube and get rid of it. But what if this is you also fake? I'm so good at speaking early in the morning. But I mean, what if they want it to be sent to another world? I mean, I don't know why they just wouldn't ask us to get it delivered again. Maybe now because people have realized what the fuck's going on. That would make sense. Fuck it, whatever. Okay, let's... but I would love a Strider. Sounds amazing, assuming it's the Striders from Half-Life, the terrifying fucking weapons of mass destruction that can just stomp around the entire world. That's way better than driving. What's this? What are you doing? Folks will be real grateful for your sacrifice. Nah, quit your bitching and come on! These are some few of... What? These are some few of the words Sam Bridges has been overheard uttering while faithfully carrying out his duties as a porter. Endearing, is it not? Too many porters... I don't think that's even true. I don't think I've ever heard him say the last two anyway. My Sam's just a much more of a little emo bitch, constantly wallowing in his endless sadness. He's never actually trying to motivate himself, but whatever, we'll take it. Too many porters succumb to the strain of their chosen profession and become unnaturally obsessed with their mission. These are the poor souls who compulsively steal cargo. The mules. The madmen who revel in the wanton destruction. The demons. Is it stress of one too many poor evaluations which drive them over the brink? If so, then perhaps they should have taken a page from the book of Sam Bridges, for there is nothing this man cannot accomplish by the sweat of his brow and through sheer determination. Should we be surprised by Sam's feat? Those of us who believe in the nominative determinism would say no. You are writing a magazine, dude. No magazine has ever contained a word above, 6 letters. Jesus Christ. For we have always known that Bridges would excel at connecting people. We have no doubt that Sam is the future of logistics and the future of America. Good luck to you, Sam. Be sure to check out Hamamura Porter Chronicles for your monthly dose of Porter news. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and read some interviews then. There should be quite a lot. starting with Die Hardman. It's been a very long time since we had more of this boy, so let's go. Locked-in syndrome. Die Hardman. 3 years ago, Bridges HQ. So it's been decided that Amelie will lead the expedition. In terms of talent and temperament, it was only ever going to be her or Sam Strand. Temperament? But Sam is such an angry little bitch boy back then. I mean, he still is, but a little bit less so, I guess. He's an angry little bitch boy with some form of authority, and that's what we like to see. But we don't know where Sam is. That's not what your voice... But we don't know where Sam is, which made the decision easy. Besides, there's no denying she's special. Amelie was born on the beach, or rather, her physical body, her ha, that was born into this world, while her spiritual essence, her ka, was born on the beach. Medically speaking, they weren't sure what to call it. In the end, they settled on a diagnosis similar to what's known as locked-in syndrome, a condition where the subject is mentally present, but physically unable to move their body, except for the eyes sometimes. The president was able to communicate with Amelie's soul on the beach, but her body remained as it was when she was born. But after a time, thanks mainly to the president's efforts, she began to show progress. Amelie's physical and spiritual selves gradually came together, and her body began to develop normally. It was right about then that they realized she was also she was also a doom sufferer, and began to ascertain her incredible abilities. She could transport herself physically to her own beach. As it makes sense, a world is more real to her than this one. She may have overcome her initial struggles, but she still spent most of her life on the other side. And, over there, time stands still, which is why even now she looks like she's in her 20s. I wouldn't say that. She looked about 40, didn't she? She didn't look young, but she definitely didn't look old. I guess that's just the weariness of knowing you have the entire universe in the palm of your fucking hand, and the slightest little vibration will end everybody. Oh, fuck, shit, fuck, no! No! Did I miss something? No, I think we've seen all of those, that's fine. I said, that means show up now. There we go. Eventually, the president came to feel that her daughter had been through enough. From that point onward, all communication with Amelie would be via hologram. Even during the expedition, she wouldn't be in direct contact with most of them. It's not a bad plan, to be fair. It'll help to keep her out of reach of terrorists for a start. I just remembered, Amelie straight up murdered all of Bridges 1. And I know it was to keep up the facade, and it was like, it's the only way to remain in power and be the leader the world needs. But then you went and got yourself captured anyway, even though that's not really a thing, but then it kind of was a thing, because Higgs, even though she orchestrated the entire thing, did she also orchestrate the part where Higgs licked her? And stabbed her? And groped her? Because that's kind of weird, dude. Sure, whatever, we'll take it. Thank you, Hardman, much appreciated. Human sacrifices under the London Bridge, which is even more appreciated. 6 months ago, dead man. But yeah, she straight up killed the entire expedition team, and Sam still seems to hold her up as some kind of idolized martyr. And while I guess she absolutely is now, for staying behind for all of eternity, trying to keep the endless death at bay, going slowly insane. Oh god, I just got goosebumps thinking about it. But like, fucking hell, she was not a good person. She was all about balance. She was ruthless in making sure that her plan worked. But fucking hell, then it didn't work anyway. Poor Bridges 1. I don't know how to do Dead Man's voice. 6 months ago, human sacrifices under London Bridge at Bridges HQ. Before I joined Bridges. Oh, is that even... No, that's not very good, is it? I watched an old movie called My Fair Lady. It's about a flower girl, Liza, a real cockney from old London. She meets this professor, and he trains her to speak like a high-class lady. Anyway, I heard My Fair Lady might have something to do with London Bridge. You know, the song, right? And they start... I can't do a Dead Man voice. I sound nowhere even close, but I guess I'll keep doing it. At least I'm bothering to do a Yank accent now. They start trying to build it back up with wood and clay, and they finish with gold and silver. There was a reading of the film that said Eliza symbolized the bridge or something along those lines. But that reminds me of a far more sinister theory, that the Fair Lady in that song is actually an immurement of a sacrifice buried alive in the foundations of the bridge to keep it standing.
God only knows if there's any truth to it. Oh, and have you seen The Shape of Water? It's another movie with a heroine named Eliza. But this Eliza can't speak. She's mute. But it's not about teaching the girl to behave properly. It's just a good old-fashioned love story. If you get the chance, you should definitely check it out.
I don't think The Shape of Water is a good old-fashioned love story. I haven't seen it, but I have seen a very, very horrible creature that may or may not be contained within that movie. And if you're perfectly down with a lizard banging, then, well, I mean, I guess you're a corpse. You might as, if you're already going for necrophilia, if you have no choice about necrophilia, you might as well just start ticking off all the rest. Anyway, and lizard banging is pretty high up on that list. Ugh. Like how it's not even bestiality. There's a separate category for lizard banging. It's just that heinous. Ooh, wow, that's a lot of Hartman. Hartman always has so much to say. Yeah, this is definitely him. Bridgeman site and the Earth's mantle. I'm just thinking about the London Bridge thing though, because I feel like I've heard shit about that as well. I don't know if it's an urban legend or what, but it wouldn't surprise me. We Brits are a terrifying, bloodthirsty race. Bridgeman site and the Earth's mantle. Hartman 1 year ago in Hartman's lab. Bridgmanite is a mineral found in the lower part of the Earth's mantle. It was named in honor of the Nobel Prize-winning physicist Percy Williams Bridgman. Bridgmanite comprises 38% of Earth, but because it is only found deep beneath the surface, it is very difficult to acquire any samples for analysis. As luck would have it, however, a material with the same properties was discovered inside a meteorite, before the Death Stranding, of course, meaning that a certain amount of research has already been conducted into this mysterious mineral, after a fashion. From this, a theory has been advanced. What the fuck? I hate the way he speaks. There's too many big words coming at me at once. I barely woke it up, you dick. Advanced positing that Bridgmanite contains a certain amount of corallium. Is it corallium or corallium? Everyone says different, fuck it. Corallium was absorbed into the mineral at the moment of the Earth's creation. If this theory is true, then it may go some ways to explaining the curious tar that has been observed to bubble up from below ground. Furthermore, if corallium does indeed come from the other side as we suspect, then it would follow that it has been linked to ours from the very beginning. In essence, the heart of the planet could be likened to the world of the dead. How appropriate, given that chiral clouds bind us to the surface forevermore. None may ascend to heaven when they die, for our final destination lies beneath our feet. Ashes to ashes, as they say. About the dream catcher. 1 year ago, Hartman's lab, which I'm pretty sure they're all going to end up being, but whatever. There is a psychological framework which posits that the human personality is comprised of various strands. Our inner mind, our outer character. Each is a strand, or thread, made up of yet smaller threads which intertwine with others to make us who we are. And in nurturing each strand, we become better people, and inure ourselves against psychological harm, or so the theory goes. As odd as it may sound, this is not an entirely dissimilar concept to the one which lies behind the most ubiquitous of Ojibwe, artifacts, the Dreamcatcher. You've seen them before, yes? A woven web of threads said to protect the mind from harm by trapping nightmares, thus ensuring that only pleasant dreams pass through. It is no coincidence that these charms came to symbolize the pan-Indian movement of the 20th century. The many and varied Native American tribes strove to set aside their differences in order to foster a group identity, a singular dream. As such, it came to symbolize what made them one people, what united them. In essence, strands can represent that which makes us who we are, that which differentiates us from what we are not, and the bonds we share with one another. I love this. Even just the random interviews that I'm sure the devs know that maybe 10% of people are going to bother reading. That might be an underestimation. Hell, it could even be an overestimation. I don't really know. I always try and read as much lore as possible. But I've seen playthroughs of shit where people will just like, reading? No! Go away! I like to give people the option where like, I'm gonna include this, but feel free to skip and shit like that. But I like very much. Thank you, Hartman. Mwah. Kipu. Or Kipus, or something, I don't know. Kipu means not in the Quechua. Oh god, okay. Quechua? Quechua. Quechua sounds fine, I guess. Language. Objects given this name were used in ancient Incan society to record and transmit information. And yes, Amelie just so happens to wear one. The Inca would pass quipu from one place to another via a network of messengers known as the shakwi. You might be surprised at the complexity that can be communicated through a simple system of knots, and not merely numerical data. It is said that whole histories could be contained in these intricate webs. Some theories suggest that they were ascribed magical properties, too. Certain combinations of knotted numbers were thought to encourage the dead to sleep peacefully in their graves, for example. Thus, we see that the quipu is at once a tool for communication, storytelling, and a ritual. I love all of this. The amount of research that went into this game, the amount of culture diving, the amount of love that Kojima must have for all the diverse fucking people of the world and our old, long dead historical cultures. I adore the idea of quipu, and I owe Kojima for introducing me to this incredibly obscure bullshit that I just want to immerse myself in forever. I want like 40 quipus right now. About Sam's return. 1 week after Sam's return, and apparently you only just gave this to me. What were you hiding this from me for? Sam has returned safe and sound. Oh, you're actually happy. Okay. It had been about a month since he departed for Amelie's beach. 30 days. Oh, you mean the return as in return for the beach? I thought you meant when I came back originally. And you were just hiding this from me the whole time, you dick. Departed for Amelie's beach. 30 days of relentless searching for us. Though, for him, it must have felt like an eternity. I cannot imagine the isolation and despair he must have been forced to endure. A suffering known only by Amelie and Bridget. Didn't you guys also do it? Maybe you weren't able to come on account of you, living 21 minutes at a time, but maybe that doesn't even happen on the, maybe that doesn't even happen when you're on the beach, right? But I assume you didn't come to the beach, but I remember you calling out to me. Whatever, they figured it out. But Deadman was like, oh, don't worry about us. It's not like we were there for absolute decades or anything. Sam has told us about the extinction entity and how it granted humanity a reprieve. But beyond that, he is reluctant to speak. We shall not put any pressure on him. Frankly, I expect we would struggle to comprehend anything else he tells us. Suffice it to say that the last stranding has been avoided. Even if its precursor has forever reshaped the world, thousands and thousands of years from now, should intelligent life walk the earth and find our fossils, they will likely conclude that the Homo sapiens died out in the sixth extinction. Perhaps, if we are lucky, they may even find records we leave behind. Still, we cannot hope to guess how much they will understand about who we were. After all, our intelligence will not be like ours. Theirs will be a different understanding of the world, of the universe. Different forms of existence, different conceptions of what it is like to be alive, or what it is to be alive. These invariably lead to different conceptions of what it is to die, but it matters not. They never understand who we were. All that matters, in my opinion at least, is that they know we were here. Fuck! Gave me goosebumps again, Hartman! It's not allowed! God damn! I love everything about this game. I'm simping for Kojima right now, and I'm not even mad about it. I can't get enough. Oh, hello, Mr. Unknown Man. Unknown Man was Higgs all along. Fuck's sake. And that's how we got the rest of it. Okay, I guess it was when I visited his little hobbit hole that we got the remaining shit. I don't know, but it goes all the way up to 26, which is insanity. I will read the will I read the first 9? I should read the first 9, but we've read a lot. Oh, we have a memory chip? Or a new memory chip? What's the new special, boy? I don't know. I guess that's like the last of the Unknown Journal or something, because you've got Unknown Man's Journal, that thing. And since there's so much left of it, well, that would need to be 10 in 1, and we've never seen that happen, but whatever. Let's just look at the Honda Rebel 500, a bike named for the individualistic nature of those who ride it. The 2010s saw a decline in cruiser-style motorcycles. This new model from Honda was a breath of fresh air, one whose iconoclastic spirit won legions of fans. Simple, tough, and cool. It's a design that would inspire any porter to climb astride it and set off down the newly rebuilt highways of the UCA. If only I could actually have one instead of the ugly-ass reverse tracks, but whatever, Death Stranding things.